Hello, everyone, and welcome back to more commentary on the Mage Wars 2023. I don't remember the rest of the name. League. Tonight we have myself, Sharkbait, and Zot is joining me for commentary on the game between Sir Jason Crage and Enti. I'm not going to try to say it as if it was actually Snowduck. So, say Zot.
Hey, man.
All right. So in the match that we have here, we have Jason with the Beastmaster in the bottom right, and we have Enti with the Druid in the top left. Uh, this, I will be giving full disclosure. I have seen how this match goes. It is awesome. So I'm gonna try to do some commentary on the tactics that were used, as opposed to trying to guess what's gonna happen. Zod has seen some of this, not all of it. So we'll be asking
I
him
know who won,
for guessing.
and I saw some awesomeness when I was able to watch it. So I missed the beginning and the end, and saw a couple key rounds in the middle, which were pretty awesome.
Yep.
And knowing that we're seeing Enti playing the Druid here, we can expect possibly the Fella and the Free and Latcherfest and beefing up his mage with some melee buffs.
All right. Well, let's get into it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go ahead and kick through the planning real quick because the first turn's a little bit. It's whatever. All right, so Jason has initiative and is going to go first. And what do you think we see out of Jason? Since we already
Oh,
know,
that's a
we're
good
pretty sure
question.
we know what we're gonna see out of Enti here.
We're gonna see a mana flower, and
Yeah.
let's see. Let's see. I'm not sure what else. Let me ponder it for a second. But yeah, so I don't know if we'll see birds or big creatures or what. Um, the strength of the Beastmaster with his special ability of making a level one pet and a mana lotus, so he's going full on economy, which is interesting when you say you're facing a druid who has a lot of economy as well.
Yeah. I
Um,
think it's a good play because it does give you an opportunity to put something big on the field that can help keep up with the Druid's economy.
right.
But it's also tough to keep up with the Druid's economy, so I
It
get
is.
it. Yeah.
And interestingly enough, the druid leads off with a mana monk. That's what I call him, but he's a level one holy slash or mind spell, which is just interesting. It's a very cheap mana flower that is delayed in its gaining of the mana instead of during upkeep
Yep. It's a little bit delayed, but
or
it is a
channeling.
little economy. Plus, it gives you a little bit of action economy as well.
Yeah, actions,
Also,
right.
ironically, up until right this second, the Beastmaster had more flowers on the field than the Druid did. Or more plants, I should say.
But I find it interesting. He did the action bump for the meditating monk compared to the fact that he has mana flowers in school. It just seems an odd choice
That's an interesting
because
point.
that's
I
two
wonder if
spellbook
it's
points,
intentionally used to help delay actions. That's
right?
how I'd expect it. Though, NP, if you're watching, I'd be curious to know if you wouldn't mind leaving a comment. What is the decision behind that? Is it strictly action related, or is there something else we're not thinking about?
I would bet that you're right. It's action related as the choice, and he felt that was worth the extra spellbook cost and the fact that it's 4 mana.
Yeah, it is cheap.
Um, mhm.
And we see a Ring of Beasts come out for the Beastmaster,
Yeah.
and
Uh-huh. Typically useful when you spam the board with little creatures, which we have
yep,
seen none of yet. And there's the
and
predicted fella.
yep, there's Flola and an enchant. Oh nope, it's equipment. Sorry, it is boots.
Mhm.
So a little bit of
Right.
leather armor. All right.
Well, no, he has fella for enchantments. It's not going to be a
No, you're right.
big
I just totally blanked on that because I'm used to seeing
He's
anti-cast
got people for
enchantments. You
that,
know, he's got
right?
people for that. Yeah. Schedule that for later. And it looks like I'm. Ooh, a snake.
And we
Ooh, it's
see,
a snake.
interestingly enough, yet the Beastmaster is just continually advancing towards the Druid because you got to get up there. And in my opinion, you have to do one of two things. You have to take out these spawn points or the familiar. And in this case, I believe the familiar is the target that really should go first, and then the tree in that order. And the idea is to do that without taking much damage. Now, I know other people prefer to just brute force take down the druid with dots and things like that, or just sheer damage dice and outdo the tree gen. But Bella is something that he's going to rely on because my guess is his book's full of enchantments.
Yep, I can see that. And there's a lot of nature enchantments that are good for games like this anyway. So
Exactly, buffs and
yeah,
you know, and with the druid you got rust in school,
right. So
things
it's
like
not hard
that.
to pack the spell book with things that are
Right,
cheap, good actions.
right. So when I see fellow, my goal is to get rid of it because it really is the problem
Yep.
for that you're facing.
Yep, she can be a real pain.
And the idea is you need to get rid of those things without taking too much damage.
Always easier said than done, though.
Exactly,
So
because
the
the
druid,
druid's
yep,
going to just let you get away with it.
yep, and the
As
druid
he
just
has an
enchanted.
enchantment on there.
Yep,
Yep.
enchanted Philella there.
And interesting, yeah, fella didn't enchant himself, huh? All right.
Yeah, well, it's quick cast, so.
Yeah, because he didn't want to see it get nuked because the Beastmaster has initiative. So that makes sense to use it.
Yep, and the Beastmaster does pass in this case, so Flo's going to go ahead and get to act well ahead of the Beastmaster.
Yep,
And
and there we go.
yep,
There's the bear strength, probably.
there's the first of probably many enchantments coming down from Philella.
Yep. Right.
And,
And
ooh,
try to
that's a
trim
good
out
idea.
a vine.
Yeah, make the
Yeah,
snake
he
attack
actually
it. Why
gets it.
not? You got 2/3 chance of killing it. Might as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. These guys are nice in general. Like, they're a pain to deal with, and they can end up being useful mid to late game as well, just due strictly to the weeks they can apply.
Well, Sir Jason probably knows he's facing Enti's druid and has some thoughts on what to do about it.
Yeah.
And that debuff on the druid with weeks is good. But
That's
he
a
brings
pet
out
Wolverine.
a Wolverine.
Oh,
I
that's
know this is one of your
awesome.
favorites.
Oh,
Why
yeah.
don't you tell us a little bit about how the Wolverine works?
Wolverine's nasty. All right, so this thing, by virtue of being a pet, has 16 life and is it 4 armor? Is it plus 2 armor?
3.
Sorry, plus 1 armor. So 3 armor, 16 life, which is already pretty tough. It gets up to 4 to 5 dice base. Every time it gets attacked, it gets a rage token, which gives it more armor and another die on the attack. So Enti's choice at this point is to ignore it or kill it in a spike. And
Which
neither of
with
those are really easy or good to
Yeah.
do, right?
3 armor, 16 life just doesn't go down very quickly.
Nope, no, it does not. Even if you take care of it with an acid ball, something else, you're still going to give it rage tokens if you don't kill it, which gives it even more armor. It's a pain, and I love it. I like seeing that as the choice of pet as well. And interestingly, Jason's still sitting on 31 mana due to very, very cheap actions in the beginning of the game, which is good. I mean, look at he's got oh, sorry, he's got 26. He must have given himself a little bit extra mana before the Lotus automated. But either way, that's still a lot of mana to drop something also large on the field to come out there and help with.
I would bet that the Wolverine, that's probably a joint, my guess.
That's an interesting one. Like, mitigate some of the damage that goes onto it.
Mitigate some of the damage, still get the rage token, because when he takes damage, it's going to be 2 or 3 points or more. And with the druid, you could put a rust on there, and that takes that 3 armor down to 1. And we already know Wolf Fury is piercing 1. We've seen it happen in the last game. So he could possibly drill it down quickly, but having the joint strength, that's my guess as to what that is on the pet.
Yep, that could very well be, and I think it's a good guess and a good play if it is what it is. We're gonna find out here, I think, in a little bit. Looks like we're aiming probably at a turn 5 or turn 6 engagement based on where things are right now.
Without any spells jumping in, like teleport or things.
Right. And we're done with the planning. We're on to first quick cast. I didn't see a deployment. That's another round where there's no deployment off the tree, which is interesting from the druid.
It is interesting.
Just putting out vines instead. Druid's got 19.
Sir Jason, right? 19. Okay, good.
Yep. Got quite a bit of mana there. Both players playing the build-up very well. The druid is actually going to go up to 20 now also because of the previously mentioned monk.
Yeah. I'm going to guess bear out of the druid.
Oh, that's an interesting idea, yeah. And cleaning up the vines as we go along as well. This is another good play, I think, from anybody fighting a druid. Don't let them just... Like, if you're going to march across the field, you might as well attack the vines because those will get useful very quickly by virtue of just them existing and being able to facilitate the druid's shenanigans.
Right. You don't have lashers appearing in the middle zones suddenly.
Right. Exactly. Or Tangle Vines, like at the wrong time, you know?
Tangle Vines. Well, Tangle Vines 0 to 2, so he's already in range practically with those creatures.
Oh, that's right. I was
There's
thinking
the
0 to
bear.
1 for some reason. And you're right. It was a grizzly. Or is a grizzly. I don't know.
Yep.
Was feels weird considering watching this real time. So it is a grizzly that comes down from from the druid here.
And he leaves him with 3 mana, which is enough to get 1
Two
off
more
of
enchantments.
It costs 1 to deploy the spell that's on the.
Speaking of grizzlies, yeah, we got bears all over the place. It's gonna be a bear
that's probably
fight.
a bear strength on the bear because
Why not make the bear stronger, right?
well, the bear's got a bear strength. So
Yeah.
where do you think he gets?
Yep, and there's one enchantment, and I'm guessing Flela's going to do another one, so we're looking at tons of enchantments everywhere. We've seen this, I think we've seen that on this channel. We've seen Enti do this with hyper enchanted bears, what we like to call it, because that thing could be really nasty if allowed to fulfill its role, I guess is the way I would put it.
And here's it. You got Enti up there. Normally, I think he would be more aggressive with his druid. But given that Jason's coming after him, he feels like he could just sit up there and turtle up and just build up a force there and then just spring out of it at some point with his buffed up druid or buffed up bear or both.
Yep, you're right about that. That's typically how I see druids play. They either go for the middle with lashers or they sit back and let you come to them, and most of the time I see people overextend themselves to do that, yeah. Alright, we're going to go ahead and kick through the planning here real quick.
Yeah. So, yeah, interesting. Okay, that's probably it. If the druid takes and deploys 2 vines with the ability to extend an extra vine, I would guess. Oh, no, it doesn't even need to be a vine because he could deploy the Tangle Vine. Oh, another mana.
Decides to do another mana loss. We're going heavy on the economy here from the druid, which I guess druids are already pretty heavy economy anyway, but this one especially.
Sure. Well, he may be figuring at in several turns he's going to need the extra mana bump because the battle will probably be engaged because Jason is showing that he's coming after him. So even though he stopped to deploy a couple big guys, he's going to continue the march over. And he needs a lot of mana to do a reveal of a bunch of enchantments potentially.
Yep, so he's got to make sure he saves a little bit for that, a little bit to put some more down. Basically using small actions, I would think, to do... Or small efficient actions is what the druid's planning on right now. And the snake does come in and do no damage, but it does get the weakening on the bear, which is nice, although I will point out that the bear has a million dice that it rolls anyway, so one off isn't going to hurt it too badly, but it does kind of suck sometimes when 2 or 3 of those build up.
It'd be interesting if the bear had a galvanize on it, so he gets
yeah, right.
And get buffed.
Oh, yeah, that'd be nasty actually. That'd be a really scary bear.
Is what I heard.
Yeah, right. That's a scary bear at that point.
I would expect a Tangle Vine on the Wolverine.
Yeah, I could see that. It's interesting that Enti decided to effectively pass by getting mana, allowing the Beastmaster to move in and cast armor, which is a good play because
it's an excellent play because that's the -3 acid, which acid ball being in school for the druid is a really great choice.
It's a great choice, but also in addition, Chitin armor is in school for the Beastmaster. So in general, I don't see enough frost to ever justify the other armor. This is always the armor I take when I'm in a nature school of any kind.
Right. So, before we get too far, who do you think the board state favors it?
At this exact moment, I gotta say the druid, but mostly because druids are scary and like they can turn you're always marching in and playing the druid's game against them, and sometimes it can work and sometimes it can't. So it's a bit too early to say one way or the other, but if I was to pick it, it'd be like 51-49 druid here.
Oh, I think it's more than that at the moment. I'd say it's probably 55-60 40 because he's got the double spawn point here.
Yeah, it depends. We'll see what tricks Jason has up his sleeve. I'm gonna guess that that's a rust on the Wolverine, like we were predicting earlier. Though interestingly enough, rust is not super effective against the Wolverine, like we were talking about. It's not bad, but yeah, he just gets angry and then it gets tougher, so it doesn't care.
Yeah. Like, you wouldn't like me when I'm angry.
Right. He actually doesn't turn green, unfortunately. That would be
That'd be so cool.
that'd be a fun way to do that.
Yes.
I'll see what I can do
Take a
about
point of damage, turn green, and
tinting it.
rage.
Yeah, I'll see what I can do about tinting it green when it has the 3 rage tokens on it.
That'd be hilarious.
Right. Yeah. So yeah, I think the methodical march across the field is the correct way to do it from the Beastmaster too. So that's another reason I'm not really willing to give the druid that much of a advantage
Well,
on board state.
right. He's able to march across the field because the druid let him.
Okay, to some extent I agree there.
Yeah.
I can see that, but also I think this is the right way to do it. So like,
He didn't contest it, so
yeah, I don't
it's
think
an
running
exorable
across the field like as fast as you possibly can is the right move unless you're already fast inherently. It leaves you exposed many times, and then you end up getting just beaten down by the druid when the druid doesn't really care about whatever you do. So it's kind of a little bit of a give and take there. We're gonna go ahead and move this along here.
All right. So, what do you think you have on the bear for enchantments?
Bear
Or the
strength.
druid?
Oh, as the druid. Well, bear strength actually would make sense as well here. I could see eagle wings being
Interesting.
another thing to show up. I could see.
Well, but given that he doesn't have any flyers
Yeah,
on opposing him, not so sure about eagle wings.
I could see that just
But
in general. But I could also see galvanize, like you mentioned earlier.
yeah.
And the bear is gonna go for the attack on the snake, and the snake decides, nope, I'm too slippery for you.
Those snakes are just annoying that way, aren't
Yeah.
they?
Oh, they really are. It's one of those like you
It's at
really
the end of the round.
it
He's
always
not feeling threatened. He'll take a pot shot at the snake.
yeah, but it also always feels bad to use an unavoidable attack on the dang snake. Like you almost have to,
And
but it's annoying.
and you look at it level 1, facing a stray wood, you're going, he's probably got more of these stupid things.
Yep, probably. And at this point, I would expect the bear to just run over to, yep, run over to the same section as the Wolverine and get in position for an attack next round.
Yeah, and the Wolverine being a guard there to get some damage. Interesting. He gets the rage token and counter strikes for more dice.
Mm-hmm. That's a good little protection ring there. And then we see an enchantment come down from, I believe, the
Weird.
druid on that one. And it's Falcon Precision. Okay, so this is how he's going to get rid of the snake. He's going to punch
Right.
the snake. Yep, and it makes sense because the bear wasn't doing anything else, and there's a bear strength. All right, so we got bear strength and Falcon Precision both revealed. And since the bear wasn't going to do anything anyway, it's a good. It's worth a shot to try to take that. Being that,
And he'll have initiative next, so he can just guard with his bear.
yep,
So he doesn't.
yep, and there's a minor problem with Falcon Precision right now where it didn't actually track that it had unavoidable. So I'll fix that at some point. But that's why if those who saw the defense was rolled. But the asp gets basically squished by the druid. Druid doesn't care.
Yep. Right.
All right. And then let's see. We got 13 mana left for Jason as he quick cast here. I bet
13 mana. He should.
I'm guessing he probably puts another animal out, right? Because is there a reason?
I would think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, another snake or a bird.
Oh, bird's a good idea. Actually, birds are always a good idea.
He could go after fellow with a bird, but we'll see what he pulls out.
Yeah, I almost said a pet bird, but then well, hey, speaking of birds, he decides to catch a bird. Cool.
Yeah, I would have guessed snake or bird.
I think birds. The reason for the bird here is that it's fast and can get into the action this turn, and flying, so you can take care of things like Philella possibly.
Right. Or the action limiter with the meditating monk, but chances are he's going to use it to break guards or go after fella.
Yeah, an interesting move that I've seen done recently also is people attacking the Mana Lotus, so disrupting that economy play a little bit as well could be beneficial.
You're counting on that, certainly.
Yeah. Though I don't know, does anybody really super count on the second Mana Lotus? I'm just curious. Like I haven't seen too many strategies that absolutely rely on it. It's just more of like a nice to have.
there's other things in there that are really scary. It's like, do you waste an attack on the Lotus when you really need to get rid of these threats? So if the
Exactly.
Lotus skates,
Yeah. It tends to get bumped down on the
priority list.
priority list.
Yeah, but yeah, he's really got to take care of Fella here, and the bird being able to attack. Of course, he has defenses and the like, but Falcon precision in school, as we've already seen,
Yep, that's
so he
true.
can go after it.
It doesn't take a whole lot in the way of stretching to give unavoidable at the right time
So,
to the
what do you
Falcon.
think Fella has on him as an enchantment? Really, a
My guess is
protective
Arcane
enchantment
Ward.
of some kind. Arcane Ward. Okay.
That'd be just a hunch based on absolutely nothing else. But either Arcane Ward or maybe Brace Yourself.
Glancing Blow might be another good one.
Also, yeah, all those are options to do similar things,
Right.
like a quick, or even a dodge. Right? It could just be because Falella's only level.
Dodge only is
Oh yeah.
he's level 3.
So dodge actually wouldn't
Dodge is
help here.
100% on minor. It would be a die roll, 7-up defense.
Yeah, I
or
thought it was.
8 up.
I thought it was. I thought Falella was 2, but no, turns out Falella's 3. So dodge didn't make a lot of sense there, given the 6+ base.
Interesting thoughts. Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
And initiative is the druid. What do you think the druid's going to do this round?
Enchant more.
And there comes the Tanglevine.
There's that Tanglevine.
He's like,
yep.
The Wolverine needs to stay over here.
Yep, Wolverine's gonna go nowhere and stay there. So that guard isn't doing a whole lot now, but that's where the Vine Tree's mana is coming out now too, as well.
Yeah, he's not going to attack into the guarding.
I wouldn't think so. Yeah. So that Wolverine will be, I wouldn't say completely, but effectively neutralized for at least a turn or two, unless the Beastmaster brought in Upheaval. Upheaval's one of my new favorite ways to deal with Tanglevines.
I love Upheaval. All right, and you're welcome. That was partially mine. Okay, so we got
Interesting.
That's probably a Rust.
I'll say a Rust and, I don't know, Tangle Root, maybe? Tangle Root's not a bad one. Oh, it's Chant of Rage. Okay.
Okay.
So.
And who's he going to hate?
Who will the bear run after is the question. I would probably put it on the other bear.
Yeah.
Oh, it's going to the druid. All right.
Because the druid says, bring it. Right? I'm not afraid of no bear.
That's fair.
Right.
Tree Gen is pretty nasty. However, that bear is going to roll a lot of dice. I don't know if I ever like taking bear hits to the face unless I'm somehow already more armored than the 2 armor that's currently on the druid.
Right.
Just a thought. I don't know. It's a little scary there. And it looks like Enti's making room to let the Beastmaster's creatures in there.
Yep, that's pretty considerate.
Yeah.
Right.
All right.
What do you think Jason's going to do here?
Well, at least I think the bear is going to go attack the druid. But other than that,
because it wants to, yeah.
Yeah, I think other than that, I would say the bird will come in and attack either Falella or Meditating Monk. As much as I'd like to see Lotus go down, it'd be kind of interesting, but I think we're going to see the bird attack one of those 2. If Jason prepared something to deal with the Upheaval, with the Tanglevine, like Upheaval or something like that, and then we'll see that and the Wolverine will join. Otherwise, I don't know, with 19, he's got 19 mana, he can do a lot. And then...
19 mana with a Ring of Beasts, I'm going to guess another bear.
I could see a second bear.
Or another Wolverine.
I'd almost rather bring, like, Galador out. Like, get some kind of ranged attack also.
Because Galador's awesome. But yeah, he's going to bring out a big creature, I guess.
Actually, a Spitting Raptor wouldn't be terrible either. Oh, the Falcon goes and attacks the bear. That's an interesting choice.
It's fairly unguarding. Yeah, not darting.
Yeah, it's fair. And it's worth a shot. We get a couple criticals on it maybe, and it could have been effective there. I probably would have chosen one of the smaller targets just to start getting rid of them, but neither of them was wrong necessarily.
Yeah, I would have attacked into Falella, I think, but...
Yeah, I can see that.
Okay, he's going to hit the Tanglevine with a pound.
Ooh, yeah, the Orchid. I do like the Orchid.
Play. This is the round I came in a little bit before this. He attacks Fella. With an unavoidable attack, it does corrode potential damage.
Yep. It does 3 damage to Philella there from being unavoidable in the
6
first
life.
place. And
then
the
followed up by
second
the
flower.
Night Jade Lotus, a
Yep.
second unavoidable attack.
All the unavoidable attacks
my God.
against Philella. I do love that the flowers are what's killing Philella here.
So here's the thing. If he was going to bring in the bird to do this, it might have been good to do those 2 attacks.
Hey, I was right. It's an Arcane ward. I actually forgot what it was.
Yeah.
I can see what you mean. I think in this case, I still would have attacked probably the other targets, like the Lotus, since I knew I was going to do the flowers. I actually forgot that this is what turn he did this on.
This is such a stellar play.
I love this play.
The unavoidable attacks against Fella. What was the enchantment on him?
Oh, it was Arcane ward.
Like you called it. Yep.
Yep. And but also like
2
it's not
unavoidable attacks for 3 dice each.
It's not
amazing.
2 dice plus a potential extra bit here because of corrode, but it's also those stay in the zone. So suddenly, control of the tree zone is not just guaranteed to be the druid, right? This is one of those moments where
this round was just really well done by Sir Jason.
I love this play.
Filling off Fella is really going to help him out a lot, I think, in the long run. So this puts the game a little bit closer to more even for me. With the druid still has his tree with the spawn point and all, but the quality of the creatures on the Beastmaster side is pretty good.
I think, I mean, there's more.
Is leaning towards the Beastmaster.
There's more damage potential on the Beastmaster side, obviously, just due to the fact that there's a bear to bear plus Wolverine plus Falcon, right? So it's
and the 2 conjurations.
Yep, and the 2 conjurations. You're right. And the bear actually rolls pretty low and only does 2 damage to the flower. Bears like meat; they don't tend to like plants. I don't think.
Yeah, we don't want a salad, especially one that has acid in it.
Right. It probably doesn't taste very good. So
no.
It looks like Jason does reveal bear strength, and the bear strength bear
it was a bear strength.
Yep. Comes in and attacks for 7 dice on the druid and rolls 9 damage. Oh my god. Yeah. Just gets 8 damage through on the druid.
1, so most of it gets through.
Yeah, that's pretty nasty.
And he's trying to get rid of the
trying to get rid of the flowers. Rolled another low one there.
Nice. So the druid not rolling well here. What's he revealing?
Nothing got revealed from either of those for that one. So at the moment,
he just revealed something on the Wolverine.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, you're right. It was joint strength.
There you go. +1 melee.
So we're looking at a total of 6 dice dealing 5 damage to the Tanglevine.
Okay. Yeah, most of the time it takes 2 hits to get rid of the Tanglevine.
Yeah, so that's not too bad. And it looks like suddenly the board. Honestly, I would give the board state now, especially to the Beastmaster. I would probably say the spawn point kind of brings it back to even, but I think it's got to be something in the range of like 55, 45. Like, there's a lot of damage potential here, and now it's the Beastmaster's initiative.
Right. Yep.
That's going to be...
What do you think a Beastmaster does here with his 12 mana?
12 mana? I would probably armor up. I'd put a leather on, and I would bring out another small creature. That's what I would do. That doesn't necessarily
mean here's the thing. He's got those 2 conjurations there, okay? So one of them's the corrosive orchid is going to get used if it survives quick.
Actually, that's a good point. I would probably bring out another.
He's gonna
corrosive orchid.
Well, he's gonna get rid of one of those 2 leather pieces, is my guess.
Yeah.
So there's 2 mana gone, right? So now he's down to 11. All right. With 11 mana, let's see here. He has options. He may attack that Tanglevine and let the Wolverine scoot out of there.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe bring a teleport and a corrosive orchid and then just go punch as a backup plan. I don't know. I still think a leather is not a bad idea. 3 armor's about the sweet spot, I think.
He could bring the bird over to attack the Tanglevine and then let the Wolverine get free.
Yep, that's a good point. Statistically, it should kill it. So we're on deployment now. And
okay,
Vine Snapper comes out. All right.
Not a bad choice considering the battle's there.
Yep.
That's a pretty good attacker.
Pretty solid there. What do you think that is? Rust? I'd probably rust it.
That could be a Tingle Root or a Rust. Probably a Rust.
Oh, it's a Chant of Rage.
Oh yeah.
That's awesome.
Nice. Go attack my Wolverine.
All right. I mean, that's a great way. Actually, now that I think about it, since the Wolverine is in the book, that makes a lot of sense. Probably multiple Chants of Rage here.
that where you put the hate token? Yep.
Yep. Hate token
Oh,
on
we
the
can
Wolverine
make.
there.
But then he also has this sleep. So the sleep is for the Nightshade Lotus. He
Yep.
may put that bear to sleep. What is the cost to put him to sleep?
I believe it's level +2. Yeah, level +2.
Yeah.
So that's
So
gonna
that'd be
cost a lot on
six
the bear.
mana.
I don't know. I think I would
Yeah.
save that for when something starts guarding, right? If something starts guarding, I
Yeah.
put it to sleep. Otherwise, I just let it sit there and keep doing 3 damage or 3 dice of damage
Right.
or something.
Well, he won't put it to sleep. He wants to get the Wolverine angry.
Yeah, it's the other
So
part of it too. So unless it just sits there and
yeah.
guards, well, it can't. It's Chant of Rage, so yeah.
But the meditating monk to sleep, but then he's just going to attack it. I don't know. I think he could almost get rid of that. All right. He'll probably just start working the druid actually with these
I mean, yeah, the bear's
flowers.
just gonna sit there and. I mean, why not go flower, bear? That's what like what are we at 9 and 5, 14 dice? That's insane.
Nice. Yep. Yeah, I think that's what the flowers are just going to go off on the druid. I think he may tangle vine his own bear, so he doesn't have to go anywhere. He can just attack stuff.
Yep. Okay, so there it is. The leading with the mist, and we're gonna get a corrode and no damage because of the armor, and then probably get rid of. There it is, like you called it. Get rid of the leather pants, and so
Yep.
the druid's effectively at 0 armor now, and
Right.
oh wait, maybe that's not the case. Druid's effectively at 1 armor now because apparently I don't know they think excuse me I think they were in voice chat for this one, so maybe he decided not to do that.
He may have. They may be in the quick cast instead of creature actions.
Nope, it's
He
creature
wanted to
actions.
do something.
I'm guessing he said no, I don't want to do that instead. Let's undo that. Probably just saved his mana. And then we're gonna get the bear. The bear doesn't care, right? Because it's got piercing. So we're gonna roll 9 dice into the druid, and the druid literally
Right.
asked for it. We're gonna get 9 damage to
Oh,
go
look at that.
through. Yep.
Four blanks.
4 blanks, but two crit 2s and 2 regular 2s. So it evens out in this case, literally, because it's 9 damage on 9 dice. And the druid suddenly's at half health.
Right.
Yeah, kind of regretting.
2 around.
Kind of regretting that Chant of Rage now, right?
Right.
That's a rough one. I probably would have also followed up with the Lotus, but I can understand why he may not have. Just in case the bear just somehow can guard. Dang. Yeah, that's a big hit. That's 2 big hits in a row from that bear. That Chant of Rage is the Chant of Rage is doing some work the wrong way, interestingly. So it's it's a good spell. All right, and we're seeing the yep, we're seeing the monk actually attack and knock out.
Eagle Strike.
Yep, knock out the corrosive orchid there. And the Beastmaster is going to go ahead and move in. Yeah, he did bring it. He brought a backup corrosive orchid.
That's why he didn't want to use the mist, because
Yeah.
he had 7 mana left
Yep,
over.
needed the exact
Let's
amount.
go ahead and get another corrode.
And he got it. He got 3 damage too. Oh man. So
Wow.
2's gonna stick on that one, I think.
Yep. And now he has 2 corrodes on him.
Yep. Gonna have 2 corrodes. Gonna have 2 more damage on him from
There's a
the
Nightshade
Lotus.
adding a point or 2 because now he has no armor. The Emperor has no armor.
Yep. That's not gonna feel too good.
Yeah, he recast it for 0.
He recast it, I think, because it wasn't triggering. Because he pulled it from his discard pile earlier, it wasn't triggering the trade earlier. But yeah, so again, this looks like very much in control in terms of the tree zone for the Beastmaster, which is not something you can say very often.
No, this is very unusual.
Yeah. Very well played so far by Jason. I mean, not that Enti's playing poorly either. Like, this is just very well played by Jason.
I agree.
I think the mistake, though, in hindsight, we have the benefit of hindsight here, but the bear raging against the druid may have been a mistake, and I think in future I would probably have put that on the bear because you can just heal with the bear You can heal the bear, and I know it doesn't get tree gen, but you're also not running the risk of your mage getting 20 damage and a couple attacks there, so.
Yeah.
It's,
Worst case, you throw the rage on your meditating monk and throw him away. Worst case.
Oh, yeah, that's true, too. Ooh, and we see a Dispel go down on the Chant of Rage, so Enti no longer has to attack the Wolverine, which, I mean, that's a fair use of Dispel. That spell can really ruin a plan by dragging your biggest beat stick out of the zone. So it's a weird one since it's gonna go away from Dissipate, but it's also like it feels weird to cast it, but that's a good play there, I think.
And that destroys the hate token on the Wolverine too.
Yes it does. And yeah, so we got a Falcon, we have a Wolverine, we have a bear, we have a druid, still yet to act, and the bear is gonna act now and attack the other bear. Okay, yep, that makes sense. So we're looking at 6 dice. Oh, 8 dice. He must have revealed bear strength. It's hidden under all the.
Oh.
Yep, there it is. There's a bear strength on the bear. We got a rust revealed, which should put 2 more damage, so probably 5 damage on Jason's bear. Yep. So we're doing red bear and green bear. Red bear has 5 damage on it from the green bear. The Falcon.
There goes attacking the Tanglevine.
Yep. And
try to free up the Wolverine.
Yep, just gotta hope. Just need 3 dice of damage.
3 damage. And what do we get here? Not able to target the Tanglevine. Oh no, Enti.
He comes back. It's okay. Just gotta give it a second. And I can't really. Right. The funny thing is about the Octagon replay is I actually can't skip through this part.
That's all right. We'll let it be.
Yeah, I'm just gonna kick him. Right.
This is a fantastic game.
Yeah, this is a very good game.
This is just stellar in general.
And it looks like 2 damage goes down on the Tanglevine while
and the Tanglevine lives.
It survives with a single point of health left.
Awesome pet Wolverine's done jack.
I know. It's so unfortunate for the Wolverine.
Oh, hold on. How much mana did that cost him for a pet Wolverine?
Oh, it cost him a ton, yeah, right? It's level +1, so it cost him 18 total mana. Ugh. Oh, and 5 more damage goes down on the red bear.
Oh man, that's getting rough.
Yep, and the Wolverine will attack the Tanglevine to finally scrape it all off of him.
Yep. And he'll just get another one
deployed. Yes, the next one's going to get deployed. That's how it is.
It's like, okay, whatever.
Yep. Red Bear's looking a little rough now with 10 damage out of 15 life. Yep. Otherwise, everything else is pretty clean except the Druid, which is sitting at 20 damage out of 34. I expect a tree gen here to bring that back down to 18.
Right.
But, dang, this is a pretty crazy board state right now. If Jason can keep his bear both alive and healthy.
But the Druid has initiative, so that's unlikely.
Well, I don't know. He's still sitting on, 1 armor? Because of that rust? Yeah, so 1 armor. It's theoretically possible. Enti's sitting on 19 mana.
To be honest. So.
Yeah, I probably wouldn't let it, or at least I wouldn't want it to live. It depends on what the rest of the plan is, right? But I would probably throw a rock of some large variety at it.
Right.
Especially with 19 mana.
Right, because you don't want it to get healed.
Yeah, you absolutely do not want that thing healed.
And there's the Tanglevine for the Wolverine.
Probably. And so, yeah, you're looking at a relatively unhealthy red bear, a relatively healthy yet slightly weakened green bear, and then you have the surrounding cast, which, ironically, the Beastmaster still has more plants than the Druid. I do find that funny. The Beastmaster's just a gardener. Took up more... took up gardening in the process.
So you have the Nightshade Lotus. Do you sleep the opponent bear? Or do you sleep the Vine Snapper, maybe?
I don't know. With 11 mana, I think you plan to heal, and if the heal doesn't work, then you sleep the bear. If the heal does work, then I would keep it. I'd obviously use the mana on the heal. You're right. There's a second Tanglevine now on the Wolverine.
Yeah, that just seems obvious to me.
Yeah, I don't see how you don't do that, especially as a Druid. Which, right. I mean, to be fair though, it's preventing.
To lock it down.
I say it's preventing the Druid from deploying more creatures to help support the fight here.
True.
The board state isn't quite so Beastmaster heavy at this point. I think it's actually relatively even now. as well.
Right. It could go either way, certainly.
Yep.
But
Oh, the druid's gonna
having,
armor up instead of attacking the
yeah,
bear. Oh.
yeah, but the druid having some health issues really got the tilting
Yeah.
towards the Beastmaster here.
Yeah. Well, it's interesting that the druid decided to armor up instead of kill the bear, because
Well, the corrosive orchid's going to say denied.
well, the corrosive orchid's gonna do a lot less damage now because it's acid minus 3.
Right, but then he just uses the mist token on it and gets
Yeah,
rid
maybe. Not if he heals the bear, which is I think what he's about to do. Like there's no way you don't heal the bear right now, right?
Oh wow,
Yeah.
nice.
And he got a big heal, 9 on 8 dice, which is good.
Oh my god, that takes him down to 1. That's
so
awesome.
yeah,
And by the way, thank you for automating the heals.
Oh yeah, no problem. It was fun actually. It took a little bit of weird things trying to classify them as attacks, but that's a whole different technical thing I can go into some other day. But yeah, it's that now that we have two healthy bears staring each other down again, which is kind of frightening in a lot of ways.
Right.
I can understand why Enti put on the armor. I think I still probably would have attacked the bear, given what I know right now. Because then you have a lot
less scariness attacking you if you get rid of the bear.
I wouldn't say a lot less, because the other option Jason may have brought is a teleport, right? Bring a teleport for the backup plan for the Wolverine and have that thing just hound the armorless druid, right? Because it's already got piercing on its own. So it's kind of a situation where you're looking at a rough time no matter what you do. And it's a matter of how do you want to play it. Do you think you can keep your spawn point advantage? Do you think you can make your spawn point advantage last into the late game? Or do you go for the spike right now and eliminate a big threat? I can't say that what he did was wrong, actually. So it's an interesting play. And it looks like
so what do you do with your 2 flowers if you're the Beastmaster? You kill the Vine Snapper maybe, or put some hurt on it? You just keep focusing down the druid? What do you do?
I think while the druid is in the same zone, you hit it with both.
Go after it.
I would hit it with the corrosive orchid, get rid of a leather, and then I'd hit it with nightshade, and then I'd hit it with a bear. Like, all of those can happen right away. Vine Snapper, unfortunately, does not roll very well. It does only 2 damage to Grizzly.
It seems as though the druids rolled fairly poorly this game.
Yeah.
For the most part, but not egregious, but just...
It hasn't been pretty. Unfortunately, no damage. Well, fortunately for the druid, unfortunately for the Beastmaster, the corrosive orchid doesn't do any actual damage, but I do expect to see a leather go down here. He's got 2 mana. Why wouldn't you do it?
Right.
And there it is. Yep. So knock out the boots. Still puts you down to about 1 armor on the druid, which is piercing 1 on the bear means done. It doesn't matter. And then I would personally, again, since the Lotus can't actually put anything to sleep, I'd hit the druid with that, and then I'd hit the druid with the bear. Because that's another, 12 dice? With a 1 armor.
You can even hit him with your Beastmaster with 4 dice.
Yeah. I mean, the bear puts another hurting down. Looks like another 8 damage is going to go through here. That druid's at 26 to 34. It's getting pretty frightening. I think I still would have led with the Nightshade Lotus. Just so I wouldn't forget. That's how I would do it. But, oh, there it is. I was going to say, please use that. 3 more dice. And we see 1 damage. And that's not great, but that's still not terrible. Every little bit here counts.
That's right.
The druid is now going to have to start doing damage control on the druid's mage, as opposed to helping the bear win, or helping the tree, or helping, win that zone's fight. So Jason will have options, in my opinion, to go either spike the druid the rest of the way down, or take control of this zone, knock out every advantage the druid has, and then go chase the druid down when they're done, healing up, whatever.
You've got as an example of how to brute force down the druid, which I'm not a fan of, but it has been effective here.
Yeah. Yep.
Is that a guard? Oh, the meditating monk was guarding.
Yep, meditating monk was guarding, so the Beastmaster knocked him out. Just punched him right in the face.
Yep.
Yeah. I think at this point, you got to continue to attack the bear. I don't know how you don't. Oh my god. I forgot about this. So the bear rolls almost a max damage roll and actually one-shots the bear despite the heal from earlier. Oh my god. So that was an angry bear. Yeah. So that changes the board state a little bit. And it kind of makes up a little bit for some of the poor rolls earlier. I don't know if it completely does, but it definitely gets it closer. That was insane. 14 damage on 8 dice. That's quite a bit. And yep, this is going to continue the trend of just attacking the druid. The druid will put, let's see. Yep, so the druid will take 3 more damage from the Thunder Rift Falcon. And then the druid decides to get the heck out of dodge. Which, fair. Oh, it's a regrowth. Okay, so the druid's going to heal 4 during the upkeep. Which, if the druid can get away safely, could lead to a recovery here, right? There's no more bear on the Beastmaster side. The Wolverine, barring a miracle here, is still stuck in a Tanglevine. Yep, so it's going to do 4 damage to the Tanglevine. It's not impossible to swing things back from here. You're leaving your Vine Tree, your Vine Snapper, and your bear unsupported. Right. But that's not necessarily the worst thing in the world with this situation.
If the tree goes down right now, the druid just loses. But he doesn't necessarily need to go after the tree.
I would say the tree for later.
Which man is it?
Well, I don't know. I think bear than tree would be my order if I stuck around and did that. Otherwise, like going to attack the druid is not a bad play.
Right, 11 mana. He's got various sizes minerals he can throw at him.
Yeah. Oh, that's true too. Throw rocks. The dude has 1 armor on. Throw a boulder, and actually a boulder should do quite a bit of damage there. Depends on how you want to spend your mana. You only have 11 total mana. So a boulder and a teleport for the Wolverine actually isn't a bad way to kick things off. Actually, what I'd probably do the opposite direction of that. I'd do teleport first. And we got a Tanglevine on the Beastmaster. Okay, so he's going to try to keep him in there. That makes sense, actually. So, not a bad one there. If you're the druid, do you quick it? Do you just try to run away?
Running away would probably be good.
Ooh, the wall. All right.
Right.
Now you don't have to run that far, I guess. If they can't see
you don't have to be worried about rocks. You have to be worried about boulders.
Yeah. Well, not necessarily because of the fact.
11 mana.
So. Yeah, that's true. You could do teleport boulder.
He's got a Tanglevine. Right.
Yeah, so he's got a Tanglevine. He can't move anywhere. So instead, he's just gonna send the Wolverine after him. All right.
He just teleports in one spot, and then the Wolverine goes rah rah rah
rah rah rah.
I'm tired and angry for being Tanglevine the whole game.
Right. Like as much as I love pet Wolverines, they draw a lot of ways to deal with them. Like sometimes it's hate.
He's gonna, what is that? 5 dice?
It should be 5 or 6, right? It's 3, 4, 5. So yep, 5 dice and does 8 damage. And the Wolverine does make up for its lack of commitment to the fight in the rest of the game.
Right.
That was a heck of a finish there. All right, so again, this is a good example of, like you were talking about earlier, a brute force method through the druid, despite the tree gen, despite basically everything else. Though, the vine tree use here is used in a different way than most of the other druids that I see, right? The druid here is mostly focused on enchantments and buffing up the things that they have on the board while using the vine tree to control the rest of the board.
Right.
Whereas most people I see deploy plants and lashers and vine snappers and raptor vines. Like that's the tree is their creature spawn point. Whereas in this case, it's not so much a creature spawn point as a control spawn point.
Right.
Interesting.
Wow, what a fantastic game.
Yeah.
Congrats to Sir Jason on a really interesting game win there. There's the various size minerals.
Yep. He had them in the book, it looks like. But yeah, very well played for game 1. So again, a reminder, this is game 1 of the semifinal between Enti and Jason. They have at least 1 more game, possibly 2 more, before we decide who goes into the finals.
Right.
Anything else to add, Zot, before we close this one out?
I think this is very instructional for maybe going after a turtling druid. You got to get over there and also take out the familiars and spawn points. One, if he has two, obviously you have to prioritize them. You may not necessarily have to take out both, but this is a way to brute force through the tree healing. Maybe Enti waited just a little too long to get some extra healing on his mage, so that he can get through it. But he was dealing with threats then at that point. So it was just several various choices that just none of which may have been optimal for him. He just like, okay, well, I don't have time to regen. I don't have time for a heal spell. I've got to get rid of these big bears and the like, or keep locking down a Wolverine or what have you. So his choices were kind of made for him a little bit. So
Yeah. Then Jason did a good job of forcing him into choices that
yeah,
frankly weren't great either
right.
way, right?
And this was quality play from really both players, and but just kudos to Jason for how well he the druid is a problem. He's a difficult nut to crack, and this was just one approach and just worked out very well. And so kudos, but both players are amazingly good players, and so I'm sure that the next match will be very challenging.
Yep. And I guess that's it for this match. This is Sharkbait and Zot signing out. And even if it didn't happen in this game, when in doubt, kill it with fire.